Okay, everybody loves a good driving video, so we're going to do a little bit of driving in Macau. And so as far as our topic, I'm going to let you know as I drive, because that's something will pop in my head and then I'll label it accordingly in the front. Chiquinha, Chiquinha. Let's go check out the road. Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so we're going to be pulling out of this one, and let me see. Everything's parallel parking in this area. We got a lot of density in Macau. So you're going to see that, and then we're going to drive across all the way over to Macau side. So I'm going to see how I can do that. I think I'm going to try to drive down this way if I can. Oh yeah, okay, we made it. So yeah, this part is a little bit of a dense area, but what I'm going to do is go over the bridge. Straight ahead is a beautiful park. I just filmed it, so I don't know the order of how I'm going to upload things, but you're going to get a little taste of driving. And we're kind of in the northern part of Macau. If you were to put stuff on the north to south map, I'm going to be driving south. And some beautiful architecture right there to the right. Love that style. That's kind of a Portuguese, and then to the left is a tea house. And as far as topics go, let me see, what should we talk about? We're going to drive into Macau, so I guess what we'll do is maybe talk about the beauty of Macau. Beauty from driving. Yeah, let's do a beauty of driving. So there's a lot of, for one, there's a lot of beautiful stuff. So like straight ahead, there's Gia Hill. So yeah, the beauty of driving. Gia Hill, you can actually drive up there. There's there's also some routes up there to the Macau racetrack. I've been meaning to see what that route is, so I can take that and do a video of riding that one, especially since the Grand Prix is coming up pretty quick. So I'd like to drive around it once. And actually, I just really like the density of Macau as well. So I love walking it a lot more. But driving is also equally interesting as well. Right up there, I think that's Royal Hotel, and let's make sure we can take a left here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're going to be going past Macau's first casino on the left. It's called Estoril. And then to the right is Top Siek, which is a beautiful park. There's a lot of plazas everywhere in Macau. That's why I prefer to do the walking ones, because I can walk into it and then you can see it. But I know people also like to see the structure of how you would drive a city and navigate it by car. Right here to the left is Estoril. That's the first casino in Macau. It's no longer in operation, but I guess that used to be kind of a nightlife center, along with a bunch of Thai clubs and restaurants that we're kind of going to be driving into in a minute. But that's more yesteryear, so you don't really have that element so much anymore. And right now we got to get in the right lane, because that bus uses the left lane for picking up and dropping off passengers. Alright, so we're still in our density of Macau, driving along. I need to get back in the left lane shortly. Hopefully I can do it here, because I got to take a left. Okay, good. That person's going to the left, so that means I can get in this left lane right here, which is the one I want. And we're going to be continuing our drive into the beauty of Macau. And it depends on how you interpret beauty, but for me, I love Macau architecture. I love the layout of the city. I like that it's kind of confined by borders. You know, there's borders from mostly ocean, and there's also the border to China to the north. But predominantly you have ocean borders, and having ocean borders is amazing because it creates a lot of you know, water, places where you land meets water, right? And then in this particular city too, there's just so much density in the architecture. That straight ahead is the Catholic, that pinkish building is the Catholic something services, which is being demolished, I believe, or it's being changed into something else. It's no longer what it was, which was the Catholic Relief Services, I think it was. Okay, we got a young boy on a bike right here. There we go. Because before it was like that, so we move it more like that. I always get nervous when I see kids on bikes. But what can you do? So now we're going into to the, you can kind of see this funky building right over, let me see, can I point to it? It's a little hard to point to it with this camera. Oops, sorry. There we go. But over there is the Casino Lisboa. So Estoril was the first big casino, but this one's a much bigger one. So this one, when it came about, basically changed the whole landscape. And then that's, usually most people think of that as the first casino, but actually it's the first existing casino. The other one was first casino, and then I guess there's always been kind of gambling establishments. I'd read some history books about Macau in the past. I'd read different ones, and I think gambling was always part of the culture. It's part of Chinese culture. It's part of colonial and European culture as well. Okay, got a guy on a bike. He's looking around a little bit. Okay, there we go. See, I think this guy's going to go across. Pedestrians have the right of way, and actually I can't go that far anyways. I think there's somebody else coming across. I think this woman is. Well, that, she has a suitcase, so looks like, okay. We still have tourists here, even though it's COVID. So you'll see a mask everywhere, but the for the Chinese population, it's open, so they can come and go as tourists. The foreigner cannot. So. Okay, so we're still enjoying the beauty of Macau. I can't wait until Macau gets her vaccines and they're done with it, and then I don't have to talk about that anymore. And anyways, yeah, actually down here we're not going to take it, but there's a actually it's beautiful to walk in it. It's the whole San Malo area. Senado Square is the one coming up to the right, and then San Malo straight ahead. It's really, really beautiful, especially in the evening. But I film it a lot, and it's always popular every single time. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually everywhere you go in Macau, there's always something really interesting and different and beautiful, in my opinion. But what we're going to be doing in a minute is we're going to be driving towards the Macau Tower, and then we're going to take the bridge, and then we're going to go into Taipa. So I think that's kind of interesting, because then you get to see the beauty of Macau from a lot of different perspectives. So so that's basically what we're doing right now. Somebody's honking the horn. Oh, because you can't see it, but to the left there's somebody illegally parking. So sometimes people just park in the middle of the street and then they block all the traffic. And they're not supposed to do that, it's illegal, and if police catch you, you're gonna get a ticket for that for sure. But the city's so dense that it happens more than you think. It's too bad my camera wasn't focused to the left. There's some interesting guy just walked by, kind of doing some interesting gestures and body language. Okay, we're really stuck right here, but we're not going to be stuck for long. We're going to be moving very, very shortly, I hope. Yeah, actually there's that pink building, I see a sign for that too that says Ultra Marino. I think that used to be an old bank, so it has some historic value to it. And we're going to take a left and kind of go down this way, going towards Macau Tower. And we're going to be following something called Avenida de Praia, which is called the avenue of the big beach, Grande Praia. Praia Grande? Praia Grande. Avenida de Praia Grande. So this street is kind of interesting because this used to be where the beach was at, one of the biggest beaches that used to span the whole city of Macau. And now it's a road. And your first thought is like, oh, a beach, like Rio de Janeiro beach. Actually, what I heard, it was always kind of murky, and ships would get stuck in it, and you couldn't really do much with it. It was kind of a beach in name, but not really, not much fun in practice. But anyways, they restored it. Oh, so this guy's parking illegally, or no, they're turning. Okay. So they restored it, and then actually to the left, now it's a lake, Nam Van Lake, but it used to be ocean, so that used to be oceanfront right there. And then they, I believe what we're on is all reclaimed, but they reclaimed to the right where those buildings are at. That was where the beach was at, or maybe this was where the beach was at. But anyways, they extended it outward, and then they created the ocean into a lake, and then they built like a isthmus kind of thing, like a road that encircled part of the ocean that made that into a lake instead. And then they do the dragon boat races in the lake, Nam Van Lake. So we're actually on that right now. We're kind of on that peninsula. So now this is all reclaimed, and it stretches out into what was the ocean, and we're on that. And there's a Macau Tower straight ahead, and so all of this was all in the ocean in the past. And back there it was called Big Beach Road, which is now just an avenue that's just in the middle of the city because the beach is long gone, and there's so much reclaimed land in that spot on both sides. This spot right here is just a narrow isthmus of it, and then we're going to go down a roundabout, and basically it's like an isthmus. It's basically just a width of a road, so it's a width of a road down, and then a width of a road north and south and east and west, and it just kind of moves the traffic easier around the city, which I would actually argue is also makes Macau kind of beautiful and interesting, just having these kind of interesting ways to navigate the city, including this little isthmus kind of thing that we're on that takes us outside. If you look at it in the map, you'll see it kind of sticking out like it's like lakes on both sides with this road that's in the middle. I think this bus needs to get in our lane. Oh no, he has to. Okay, so we have to go here. And we're going to be crossing this bridge. We're going to be going into Taipa, and you can see the beauty of Macau. And this bridge there's 3 bridges, and in the evening they're so beautiful because you can see all the lights everywhere. You can see the way that the city kind of lights up, and they're also elevated too. So you're going up into the sky a little bit, like right now, and it looks beautiful from both sides. So when whichever way you take it. When I first came to Macau, I really loved going across these bridges. They were just so beautiful, just viewing these, the Asian city lights of just, neon lights everywhere. And I guess that's not unique to Asia, but just, big neon city lights in general. And they're even more spectacular behind me on the Macau side, but they're quite interesting too on this side. But at nighttime it doesn't really matter anyways on this side. They're both interesting. So I like this too right here. This kind of looks like something that you might see in like San Francisco or something. Kind of interesting. Okay, so we're gonna just cross this bridge, and go into Taipa. So it's Taipa Central. So yeah, the beauty of Macau. And actually, to the left side is all Taipa, but to the right side is Hengqin. So Hengqin is this area that's basically being worked out with China right now to whose jurisdiction it's going to go to. And it looks like it's going to be kind of shared. So it's kind of hard to imagine it right now, but I've heard that Chinese Macau people will have rights to go there anytime they want, and they can go back and forth. I think the foreign community, I don't think we have those rights. So I think that we won't be allowed to go back and forth like Chinese Macau people will have the rights to do. So I have the Macau residency, so I have some rights, but I don't have the rights to go into China. If I was a Chinese person, then I could. So it'd be like, if you're like Chinese, whatever, as long as you have the China ethnicity, you get something called a homecoming visa, and you can always go into China. But of course I'm a foreigner, so I don't have that. So Hengqin will be separated it'll be kind of given to Macau, but only given to Chinese Macau people. And if you're any kind of foreigner of any kind, maybe your Portuguese family has been here for 500 years or whatever, you won't have access to that side of Macau unless you get a China visa and stamp it into your passport. But I don't know, people talk about it, and maybe that might differ, but that was the last thing that I saw in the news just a few weeks ago, quite recently, that foreigners won't be allowed over there, foreign residents. People of the... Okay, let me see. Which is kind of interesting. I think I was talking to some Macanese people before, which is quite a few in the city, and some of them look Chinese, and some of them look Portuguese, some of them look something in between. And that was kind of interesting. I was talking to some of them about that, you know, and they've been here for, you know, sometimes 300-400 years or whatever, as a family unit, as a family structure, you know, ties that go all the way back. And then, but they're forced to decide if they want to be Chinese and then have that China homecoming visa, or Portuguese and have that Portuguese passport to have access to Europe. And I think, you know, of course they just want to be home in Macau, and they don't really think about it too much, because if you don't get the China visa one, then you're kind of stuck. Like right now, if you're a Macauese person with a Portuguese passport, you're not allowed to go into China. You can't use China for transiting flights. You're just kind of stuck here all the time. So it's kind of a tough one. We'll see where it goes. Nobody really knows. But I think for the most part, it looks like, you know, if Macau is your home, it feels like you're gonna have to take China, because if you try to keep a European passport, you might get squeezed out of Macau altogether and have to leave your home home of your ancestors. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But that's not our topic. Our topic is the beauty of Macau, and we're coming into Taipa. And then all the way down is the Cotai Strip. I don't think I'm going to film down there, because it's it'll make this video a lot longer, and that's a whole other little thing to film. But I do want to get into this Taipa area just a little bit. I want to stop for these kids, because I want to keep them safe, right? So if I stop them and stop somebody else from, you never know, somebody tries to fly around you on the left. But if you look up here, there's some traffic that usually illegally blocks a lot of traffic. So if you're in that left lane, they might not pass me so quickly at that spot, because these other ones are illegally blocking the left lane. And then there's also bus lanes. So so there's a lot of like headaches if you use that lane. It's supposed to be clear. They're not supposed to park. Like this one's parked in the bus zone. They're not supposed to park illegally like that, but there's so little space in Macau that sometimes the density kind of requires it to do that, especially if they're, like, you can see a handicap, or not a handicap, but somebody in a wheelchair over here. So, you know, if you're, you know, trying to help that guy out, of course you have to get him as close as you can to his residence. So there's a lot of logistic issues in Macau. Anyways, that doesn't detract from the beauty of Macau. It's just another aspect of Macau. Okay, so we're probably going to end this shortly, but at least you kind of get a taste of the beauty of Macau and a little bit of the variation of Macau. This is going to be a tough one right here, because there's pedestrians, but then there's a bus right here. So I'm going to have to get across, because I know that bus wants to get in my lane. And actually I have a whole stream of people behind me that want to... Ooh, this guy's illegally parked right there. Anyways, with that note, we're going to end it right here with a crosswalk, and then we're going to enter into this little zone right here. We'll take the camera with us for this one. These roundabouts are kind of messy and interesting at the same time. So we'll enter into it. Yeah, and I hope you like this one. So you got a little tour, driving Macau, witnessing the beauty of Macau. A little bit of something for everybody. So hope you like that one.
Chiquinha, chiquinha.
Let's go check out the room. Hey guys, 3 things: like, subscribe, make some comments below. It'll really help out my channel. All right.
Chiquinha, chiquinha. Toma cuidado da movimento.